springtime. Snowbell, the cat, enjoyed nighttime more than daytime, perhaps because his eyes liked the dark. But I think it was because there's always so many worthwhile things going on in New York at night. Snowbell had several friends in the neighborhood. Some of them were house cats, others were store cats. He knew a Maltese cat in the A&P, a white Persian in the apartment house next door, a tortoiseshell in the delicatessen, a tiger cat in the basement of a branch library, and a beautiful young Angora who had escaped from a cage in a pet shop on 3rd Avenue and gone to live a free life of her own in the tool house of a small park near Stuart's house. One fine spring evening, Snowbell had been calling on the Angora in the park. He started home late and was such a lovely night. She said she would walk along with him to keep him company. When they got to Mr. Little's house, the two cats sat down at the foot of a tall vine which ran up the side of the house past George's bedroom. This vine was very useful for Snowbell because he would climb it at night and crawl up into the house through George's window. Snowbell began telling his friend about Margallo and Stuart. "Goodness," the Angora cat said. "You mean to say you live in the same house with a bird and a mouse, and you don't do anything about it?" "That's the situation," replied Snowbell. "But what do I do about it? Please, remember that Stuart is a member of the family, and the bird is a permanent guest, like myself." "Well," said Snowbell's friend, "all I can say is you've got more self-control than I have." "Doubtless," said Snowbell. "However, I sometimes think I've gotten too much self-control for my own good. I've been terribly nervous and upset lately, and I think it's all because I'm holding this in myself." The cats' voices grew louder, and they talked so loudly that they never heard a slight rustling in the vine a few feet away from their heads. It was a gray pigeon who had been asleep there and who had awakened at the sound of cats and began to listen. "This sounds like an interesting conversation," said the pigeon to himself. "Maybe I'd better stay around to see if I can learn something." "Look here," he heard the Angora cat say to Snowbell. "I admit that the cat has a duty toward her own people, and that under certain circumstances it would be wrong for you to eat Margallo. But I'm not a member of your family, and there is nothing stopping me from eating her, is there?" "Nothing that I can think of offhand," said Snowbell. "Then here I go," said the Angora, starting up the vine. The pigeon was wide awake by this time, ready to fly away, but the voices down below continued. "Wait a minute," said Snowbell. "Don't be in such a hurry. I don't think you'd better go in there tonight." "Why not?" asked the other cat. "Oh, well, for one thing, you're not supposed to enter our house. It's unlawful entry, and you might get in trouble." "I won't get in any trouble," said the Angora. "Please wait till tomorrow night," said Snowbell firmly. "Mr. and Mrs. Little will be going out tomorrow night, and you won't be taking such a risk. It's for your own good I'm suggesting this." "Oh, all right," said the Angora. "I guess I will wait. But tell me where I'll find the bird after I do get in." "That's simple," said Snowbell. "Climb the vine, enter George's room through the open window, then go downstairs, and you'll find yourself the bird sleeping in the Boston fern on the bookcase." "Easy enough," said the Angora, licking her chops. "I'm obliged to you, sir." "Well, the old thing," whispered the pigeon to himself, and he flew away quickly to find a piece of writing paper and pencil. Snowball said goodnight to his friend and climbed up the vine and went into bed. Next morning, Margalla found a note on the branch of her fern when she woke. It said, "Beware of a strange cat who will come by night." It was signed, "A Well-Wisher." She kept the note under her wing all day long, wondering what she had better do. But she didn't dare show it to anyone, not even Stuart. She couldn't eat. She was so frightened. "What had I better do?" she kept saying to herself. Finally, just before dark, she hopped onto a window, and without saying anything to anybody, she just flew away. It was springtime, and she flew north just as fast as she could, because something inside her told her that north was the way for a bird to go when spring comes to land. That's the end of chapter 10. And up next, chapter 11, The Automobile.